Don't start a business if you're not meant to deal with adversity. I just took a L in my business and I'm in my fifth year in business and I just wanted to come on here and just talk about the mindset that it'll take to even last long in business. They said the average business doesn't last past a year, doesn't last past the second year. I'm in my fifth year in business, so I've been through some things in business and I just wanted to kind of share my insights just to essentially help somebody that was where I was before, and just make sure you have that bulletproof mindset. Don't start no damn business if you know you're not going to be able to handle adversity, you're not going to be able to handle, tough times and just dealing with people. So, when I'm talking about like adversity, I think it's important that we define adversity quotient. So we always talk about and hear about IQ. Sometimes we might hear about EQ, emotional intelligence, but something that we often don't talk about is adversity quotient, AQ. How do you react when you experience that failure? How do you react when you take that loss? How do you react when you don't get your way in business? How do you react when it's a slow season? How do you react when some BS is going through? How do you react when you stressed out? How do you react when you still gotta pay all your employees? How do you react when, these negative stuff are happening? How do you react when stuff are going on in your personal life, but you still gotta deliver for your clients? How do you react when your clients are scammers? How do you react when you deal with scammers without even knowing that they scammers? How do you react when people don't pay the invoice? That kind of thing. This is what I'm talking about when it comes to you got to make sure you have a high adversity quotient. If you gonna last in business, especially this industry, credit, funding, you have to have a bulletproof mindset. And part of having this bulletproof mindset, what's allowed me to last, all these years and continue to grow, is understanding having that adversity quotient and having an abundance mindset. It's different when your pipeline is huge and you have a lot of people that you're expecting to deliver when it comes to, let's say you're fixing their credit, let's say you just got them funding, you're waiting for the invoice to be paid, right? If you're just waiting on one person and that person doesn't fall through, now your whole world is going to be in shambles, right? So that's why when it comes to business, it's important to also just think in abundance. And that's one of the things that I had to realize as I was, going through my business, as I was elevating in business. This is why we do have those systems in place to help us attract, bulletproof lead generation system, things like that. But at the end of the day, we also got to realize, like, we are human. So when certain things don't fall through, when stuff back to back happens, when you got five figures and unpaid invoices, you know what I'm saying? And things going after, like it's just gonna be one of them things that, sometimes you gotta sit back and reflect, not only on how far you've came, if that's the case, but that's what I had to do right now. But you've also just gotta understand that you've just gotta be like strong when it comes to business. If you're not gonna be willing to do all that, like honestly, just go get a 9 to 5, because this shit ain't sweet. When it comes to business too, you gonna come across like people that's just like, people gonna be jealous of you. People gonna be just like, so how do I say it? They're so enslaved to the money, they'll do anything to get to it. And like what I mean by that is like they'll double cross you. And one of the things I had to learn too was just about people. People are very bad. People like they can be they're people can be good too, but people can be very bad. And as I'm sitting here reflecting with y'all, it's kind of funny to me because I'm the type of person, like, I'll be chilling. Like, I don't I'm not like a yapper, right? In my relationship, my girlfriend is a yapper. You know what I'm saying? So it's just funny how I'm coming on here and, yapping with y'all. I was just thinking about that. But when it comes to people, you've just got to be careful who you trust, because it's going to be clients that disappoint you. It's going to be people that disappoint you. Bro, it could be your family that disappoints you, right? And just understanding, like, not even just with business, but just life in general, you've got to be like fully protecting of your energy, be selfish, be careful who you freaking trust, right? Because my mindset, if my family double cross me, then it is what it is. Some people are so like, some people are so, how do I say it? some people are so, I could say that like they green, but some people are so, just let's just say they're green for lack of a better term. Like they so naive and everything. Like even if they family, it could be their siblings, it could be they friends, quote unquote. That's they're looking at like, oh no, this is my friend, this is my family, blah blah blah. Bro, I'm so cutthroat with my shit. Even if you my family, if you my sibling, I don't care. If you double cross me, you do something fake to me, like you cut off. When it comes to business, you gotta develop that. You have to develop that skill if you don't already have it. And I'm not gonna say that I just had it overnight because at the end of the day, we're all human beings, so we have emotion to a certain extent. But I'm more on the nonchalant side, so I'm more able to like my cutoff game is so elite, it's crazy. Like I don't care what type of relationship or nothing like that. If you double cross me, if I feel like there's some static there to where I don't feel safe, I got to do what's best for me and protect my energy. And I feel like you should do the same for yourself, especially when it comes to business, because this shit ain't sweet. Sometimes it's going to be lonely. Maybe you got staff, you don't know who to trust. Maybe you got friends, you don't know who to trust. Maybe you got partners, maybe you got clients, you don't know who to trust, right? So that's also why it's important to think in abundance because you don't want to just have all your eggs in one basket, for lack of a better term. Because when one client don't come through, when two clients don't come through, when four, five, 10 clients don't come through, as long as you got more on the pipeline, you'll be good and you'll continue to work on your adversity quotient because you got to understand like there's gonna be those failures. There's no way around it. Nobody comes in business and then they don't take any L's. You're gonna experience L's. Is if you haven't experienced any L's right now, it's probably because you're too new in business, right? You're not gonna go 5 years in business and you ain't experienced no L. Every month is not gonna be the same. It's gonna be ups and downs. It's gonna be seasonal changes. You're gonna come across people. With more people, it's gonna be more BS that comes with that, right? More money, more problems. Money. That's a whole separate conversation. We could drop a whole podcast on that, right? When it comes to money too, just be careful. Be careful of like, oh, because I know I got mostly dudes watching my channel. I know some ladies, I think the analytics says like 30 or 40% is women, but most of y'all are dudes. So be careful of those homies that all they want to talk about, oh, where the hoes at, because their mindset is not right. Their priorities aren't right. A lot of dudes, they don't succeed in life just because of their priorities. Their priorities are shit. Your priorities got to be focused on your personal development, your relationship with God, not, oh, where the hoes at, Like, be careful of those type of people. Be careful of those type of people when, like, let's say you go out or something and let's say they're trying to show out for the women. Like, they're just so focused on the host, So be careful of those types of people. If you're a woman watching this, look at it in terms of the women that are just focused on like men. So I've had these conversations within my relationship, and we're just both on code in terms of just understanding like how people are. So if you're in a relationship as well, and like make sure your partner's on board with everything you got going on, make sure y'all are following the same program, and that'll definitely help you be at ease mentally as well. Because when you're a busy business owner, like everything gotta be full cooperation. You shouldn't be at home where you're stressing out and all that. And by the grace of God, I'm gonna, without getting into too many details, yeah, I'm blessed, but I'll say. But I say that to say, like, be careful about people. Be careful about people that are too money hungry, right? Money is very, very important, but you got to have morals and principles. As I've been in business, I've observed many people that have no morals, no principles. I don't know, they weren't raised right or whatever. By the grace of God, I thank my parents in terms of how they raised me with having morals and principles. Because you know what people say about Nigerian scammers. If you didn't know, I am Nigerian. I'm not a scammer. Nobody's out here saying I done scammed them, and they can't say it unless they go on Photoshop and do some BS. Nah, but just be careful who you trust, and I think that'll definitely take you far, especially if you're young. Be careful who you trust, be careful who you invest with, because it's 2025. Prices and everything is going up. So the thing about that is more people are going to be money hungry in terms of scamming, right? The people that might not have been as money hungry before, Like their back is going to be against the wall even more. So that means that they're more likely going to be in a position of, okay, maybe I don't have to have morals and principles. The type of person I am, I think so much in abundance. And, by God's grace, I'm not just starting in business. So I already, have motion going on. And I'm always going to be able to just, for lack of a better term, make money out of nowhere, right? Because that's when we look at entrepreneurship, that's essentially what it is. Like you just making shit happen in terms like by any means necessary. But I say that to say, if you're watching this, let's say you struggling within your business, I say that to say, if you stay consistent, if you stay like with a bulletproof mindset, adversity quotient, it can and will get better. I mean, if you just like bitching, complaining, not doing nothing about it, like you can complain. I like a good complaint session. I'll complain, but I'm gonna get up and take action as well. But if you're just not doing nothing to better your situation, I can't promise you that it's gonna get better. But definitely be careful about people because people are scammers out here. People are gonna continue to do what they need to do to try to get to the money by any means necessary. And I would hate for y'all to fall victim to that. I fell victim to that in the past, just not knowing how certain people move without morals and principles. And I wouldn't want it to happen to y'all. Some of those people that owe me money, maybe even watching the damn video, you owe me money. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but I say that to say, like, just do what you can to make sure that you're good. Prioritize yourself, prioritize your mental health, prioritize just everything that's going to benefit you. It's nothing wrong with being selfish, especially in business. Like this is something where it's very crucial to not be green. And if you don't know what that means, like being green is like naive and just like not knowing what's going on. Like you got to be very aware of your surroundings. You got to be very aware of, those around you. You got to be very aware of what you're being exposed to, right? Because as you elevate too, this goes back to what I was saying about like the ego of men, because I know it's mostly men watching. Men are very, very egotistical. Men are very jealous. Men can be very jealous when it comes to the ego. You don't know who's watching. When you posting stuff online, when you're posting wins, when you're doing all this, I'm not green. I know very well that not everybody wants the best for me, especially when I'm posting all these, wins that my students are doing. So you just gotta be aware of that as well. Don't just be so naive. Don't just be so green. Like do your due diligence on people. Be careful. Obviously, stay prayed up, do what you need to do. But most importantly, like develop that adversity quotient because you gotta be mindful of that. Because everybody's not going to want the best for you. Everybody's not going to have good intentions. Everybody's not going to operate with good principles and morality. Everybody just doesn't move that way. You might, and I know that I do. And, it is what it is. Like, you just got to go to sleep at night knowing that everybody's not going to be like you if you are that good person. If you're a piece of shit, then you're a piece of shit. But everybody's not going to move with good principles. Everybody's not going to move with good intention. So I think it's important for us to just understand that and just recognize that because we could stress ourselves out like, damn, like, why don't everybody move like that? Like, I'm genuinely somebody that want to see everybody win. So that's why, like, I take it to heart when I'm teaching students and, telling them what to do. And then, they don't take the action because I genuinely want people to succeed and win. But I had to understand that you can't help everybody. And that's one thing that I wish that I learned earlier on too. So if you're just like new in your business and you're just like a good-hearted person to the core, you got to realize like you can't help everybody. You can't save everybody, right? You can't save everybody. And a lot of times it's even more, to me, it stressed me out even more back in the day because there'll be people that look like me that I'm trying to help, So you got to understand though, not everybody's going to want to be saved. You can't save everybody, but do what you can, attract your tribe, make your difference. We don't we're not going to be here physically forever. So do what you need to do to leave your mark and just change those lives, right? Because it's important to recognize too where you've came. Like I said, I'm in my 5th year in business. A lot of people that I started with, back in the day, they are not around because they didn't stay consistent or, whatever. Like maybe they didn't listen to the principles I'm telling you here. Maybe they they just can't handle it. And it's not to say that everybody's supposed to be an entrepreneur, everybody's supposed to be in business, but if you're gonna be in business, you got to develop that hardcore adversity quotient. So yeah, I just wanted to come on here and yap with y'all real quick, just get that mindset motivation, and hopefully this can definitely help you. Let me know what y'all takeaways are, because I think it's very important that we do have a dialogue about these types of stuff. And if y'all want more of these types of content where we just chop it up, definitely let me know, because obviously I want to help y'all get richer with the credit repair business scaling game, with the business funding game if you're a business owner looking for capital. But every now and then too, we got to do a reassessment, just a mindset. And I thought it was a good time to go ahead and knock this video out, just because I was just reflecting. I do a lot of work obviously behind the scenes, but just to come and talk about it with y'all. Maybe some of y'all just think like everything is just sweet. It's not. That's not the case, right? Because it took a while to get here where I'm at, and it's gonna take a while to, get to where I want to be at, and it's gonna take a lot to keep it and continue to grow it. You can't don't be no pushover in business. You can't think like this shit is sweet. People are coming out here, they're trying to take your position. People are coming out here, they intentionally trying to scam people. Their back is against the wall. Sometimes people's not even necessarily trying to scam people. It's just that, they in that scarcity mindset, right? That's why you want to have an abundance mindset. That's why you want to do what I say on my YouTube channel, because that'll definitely help you get into abundance. And yeah, with that being said, man, I hope this video is definitely helpful. If it can inspire you, if it can motivate you, if you're watching it at night, if you're watching it in the morning, if you're watching it in the afternoon during work or whatever, it's just important that we, I think, have these types of conversations, because entrepreneurship business is lonely, especially if you're doing it full time by yourself. It can be lonely. Some of y'all that may know, I came from the world of working a 9 to 5. I used to work as a chemical engineer, retired that, and I've been doing what I've been doing ever since, helping y'all get to the next level with your credit repair business, funding these businesses, and just on a mission to help fund $1 billion to small business owners. But with that being said, make sure y'all keep watching my videos. Make sure y'all take action. Make sure y'all be careful with people. Make sure you focus on making sure you're good, right? You should be good. Focus on not trusting everybody. If your family, what I'm saying, double crossing you, you might have to cut off your family, man. You might have to cut off them friends. It's easier to cut off friends versus family. But the hard conversation a lot of people don't want to have is, sometimes it's family you gotta, cut off. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, just protect your energy, protect yourself. Remember, this business shit ain't sweet. Whether you're starting your business, if you're already growing your business, if you're in the scaling phase, just be careful who you trust. And most importantly, just remember that, nothing bad at least lasts forever. It's going to come to pass. If you're going through a hard time right now, it's definitely going to get better. Just continue being persistent, keep being consistent. And most importantly, just remember to embrace your adversity quotient, because a lot of people, they just fold when hard times come along. And I know we're human, stress can happen, but it's one of those things that you just gotta not let that over stress you out, because you got people to inspire, you got lives to change. And like I said, with this business shit ain't being sweet. With the 9 to 5, you got that guaranteed paycheck. With the business, you eat what you kill. So you gotta develop that, that rock solid discipline. You're doing it when you don't feel like it, right? There's no excuses. You can complain. I like a good complaint session, like I said, but I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do what needs to be done. So yeah, with that being said, y'all have a blessed one.